he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
Terry, you make me happy. Thanks for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast, y'all. I am Garrett Charles Langley Henson.
And I am Terry. Ricardo DeShays II. What's good, brother? How's it going, baby?
Just kicking it, bro. Kicking it on this fine, cold as fuck Tuesday morning. Looks like shit out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm happy I don't have to coach no soccer this whole week. I can just stay bundled in my house with 17 blankets on me like I got the typhoid fever.
Yeah. The winter is finally here again, bro, because it's been very weird, bro. It's like 70 degrees New Year's Eve. The shit was dope, but still, it's supposed to be cold, and we're supposed to get a lot of snow, so I don't know. Shout out North Carolina.
I'm going back to Mexico. That's the one thing I know for sure is that I'm going back to Mexico. America ain't it, bro. I was there for 1 week. I was like, this is where I belong, for sure.
What was the temp down there? Hot as fuck?
Nah, bro, it was fucking nice. It was like the lowest was like 65 and the highest was like 85.
I mean, that's that rich people shit. It's like, I spend my winters in Miami and I spend my summers in Ontario, like Canada. Like, come on, bro.
You're probably going to have me out here with a different tune if I went to Mexico in August as opposed to into December.
You still be red right now. Mexico.
I would have changed my initials to SPF just for the trip.
Look, let me tell you something right now. Mexico is when I found out black people could get sunburned because my ass was peeling, dog. Because I was like, bro, come on. We can't get sunburned. I'm out there, no sunscreen. Yeah. My eyes are fucking blinded from the sun. And then I come in, I'm like, yo, am I peeling on my shoulders, dog? I was like, we can get sunburned? Apparently.
Little do people know, Terry DeShazo actually was the inspiration behind the eggplant emoji. It wasn't a penis. It was just his complexion after he traveled to Mexico.
Purple as fuck.
Oh, man, we don't want to talk about purple, Terry. Not after last night. Not after seeing the national championship where those purple TCU Horned Frogs went in there and met Jack the Ripper in the national championship. I tuned in, Terry, for 3 plays. It was 7-7. Georgia was in the red zone. They ended up settling for a field goal. I was like, yeah, I saw it. I caught some of this game. I tuned back in. I was like, oh, let me see what the score is. Oh, 200-7. Okay. Good thing I flipped over to the Bulls in the in the Celtics game for the majority. Yeah, but it was just a dismantling in the national championship, dude. I mean, the semis, you watched it more than I did. The semifinals are like the actual championship, wasn't it?
The semis were fire. The semis were really good. That's like what they want it to be. And they're expanding it, so hopefully, there'll be, good matchups. But it's kind of like this game was just like a definition of styles make fights, bro. Like TCU is just not equipped, and talent-wise, they're not equipped to play against them. Like Michigan, they fumbled the bag. If it was Michigan, Georgia in the finals, that probably would have been better because Michigan is like more equipped for like running the ball and not just throwing it and saying, fuck it. If we can't run, we're just going to throw it 100 times. And if we lose, we lose. This is pretty much what TCU did. They're just like, hey, man, we suck. We're just going to go spread. The clock's going to keep stopping on us because we're incomplete in all these passes. And Georgia's going to run it up on us and score 70 points. That's exactly what happened. With that being said, this is what y'all wanted. This is what you get. Number 1 versus number 4.
Isn't next year they're expanded too, right? What have they got? 8, 16? How many teams they got in this bitch?
I think it's 12. I think it's
12.
8 or 12, if I'm not mistaken.
What, you going to give 4 people a first-round bye? And then what?
I honestly don't remember, but it is getting expanded. I forget. We talked about it months ago, but I forget. I should know.
You think it's going to make it better or worse? Do you think we're going to see more of these like underdog Cinderella story type teams that get to the final and get blown out? Or we'll actually see like the cream rises to the top and we have a good national championship game?
I think the national championship will probably be better, but I don't want the games to be played on New Year's Eve. As far as like me and you are huge fucking sports fans in general, but my New Year's Eve is not focused on watching a fucking football game. Yeah. Like I didn't watch the last game because it was too late. The dude was kicking a game-winning or tying field goal when New Year's Eve was dropping. I'm not watching that game. I'm not a fucking complete loser, bro. I am out partying with my fucking friends. Like, I'm not watching the game. I'm sorry. They've been doing that shit for years. You can't have it on New Year's Eve, and you can't have it on New Year's Day. I'm too fucking hungover to watch it. They have been doing this for like the last 4 years. I'm not watching that shit. Like, have it at a different time, I'll watch it. But expanding it, I like it. I'm not someone that's opposed to it. I like the expansion. Fuck it.
I feel like it'll make the regular season better, but the like playoffs in the last 2 games worse. Like right now, it's like as soon as you lose 2 times in the regular season, it's like, oh well, I could just stop watching college football for the rest of the year because we're not fucking going anywhere but the Triscuit's fucking Chick-fil-A bowl, you know. And now it's like, hey, fuck it, we can get 3 wins or 3 losses, and we can still get up in this playoffs. Like you don't know what happens, so. I feel like it's going to make people watch their team like more during the season because it's like not just over at week 7 and we're like, oh shit, well, I hope we get some 5 stars for next year. But then when you get to the end of the season, it's like, you know, you don't want to see fucking Texas A&M in the final or like Notre Dame or, I mean, I'd rather see Dion in Colorado. That would make it interesting for me.
Yeah. I don't know. Like recently, it's always seems like it's been like 3 good teams and 1 team that seems like it doesn't deserve to be there. So hopefully they kind of fix that problem and it'll be 2 legit teams like in the championship game. Because I mean, like, look, the TCU's quarterback, was he really good for college? Yeah, he was really fucking good. But dude's not an NFL prospect. Like, you can fucking see he scored 7 points versus a team that probably has, I don't know, 5 NFL players on the whole squad. You like the team's just not good enough to be in a college national championship game. I'm sorry, Texas Christian University. You ain't good enough. You wasted everyone's life last night. That shit was a waste of time. If anybody who watched that game that wasn't getting paid to watch, you're a fucking loser, bro. I don't want to hear anything.
LaDainian Tomlinson is like, I took a fucking PJ all the way down here for this.
Waste of time, bro. Absolute waste of time. Whatever.
Hey.
Expand it.
So let's waste some of our own time here, Terry, in a segment that you wanted to cut, but I made sure that we put in here regardless. Let's talk about some Stetson Bennett. He's had a atypical college career. You know what I mean? He walked on to Georgia, then they got Justin Fields, then he went to JUCO, then Justin Fields transferred to Ohio State, then he came back, finally gets a chance to be the starting quarterback at 24 years old, leads him to a national championship. Does it again the next year and scores, 7 touchdowns in the final and wins like most outstanding player. So let me ask you this question, Terry. In the NFL, is Stetson Bennett going to be more Jalen Brunson or Tyler Hansborough?
Jalen Brunson or Tyler Hansborough? I don't know, man. I hope he can get into the NFL, but to be honest with you, dude, his arm is weak. He's 5'11". And he weighs under 200 pounds. He's not going to be good in the NFL. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you can count on your fucking one hand the amount of players his size at the quarterback position that have been good. Like Fran Tarkenton. Maybe Russell Wilson's kind of thick, so I don't even know if I can kind of count him. He had big-ass hands and a strong arm, so he's not in the same, realm of fucking Russell Wilson. Dude's arm is weak. Like, a lot of the throws outside of the numbers, not the deep ones, like, those don't count because you got number 1 receivers on your team. I'm talking about the joints like a fucking out, a 15-yard out. Weak as fuck. It's a lob. He's 25, dude. Like, come on. There's like, how many NFL quarterbacks are younger than him right now? Like, stop it. What are we doing? Him, Hayden Hooker from Tennessee, too old. Everybody's 25 and 26. Stop, bro. Just get your NIL money. Call it a day. Don't waste the NFL time with bullshit.
Hey, listen, the dogs don't like that one. You talking shit about their dog? Stetson Bennett is a dog. The dogs are making noise. I like it. At least somebody is rooting for the kid. The thing with Stetson Bennett is like, what did we see of Mac Jones at Alabama that convinced me that he's like worth a first-round pick that I didn't see from Stetson Bennett?
That's facts.
Yeah, you just muted yourself. But yeah, I like Mac Jones. He ain't fast. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the biggest hands in the world. he doesn't have the rocket arm, throwing these outs on a fucking frozen rope. Like he was surrounded by premier talent. His wide receivers are like Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, fucking Jamison Williams, like all first round picks. Stetson Bennett doesn't have that guy.
How's Mac Jones doing right now?
Right now, it's not great. Did make the Pro Bowl and the playoffs his rookie year, though. But in fairness to Mac Jones, he is a defensive coordinator who's never been an offensive play caller calling his plays. I don't know who the fuck is supposed to succeed with that. No. But I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of doubt with Stetson Bennett. And like as a guy who didn't watch college football all year, I'm not an insider. I'm not privy to shit. But my eyeballs, when I look at him, is like, oh, this guy could be a serviceable backup. He looks like he could be Matt Schaub. That's worth a draft pick. Like
it's just a talent difference. That's all, bro. Like the TCU's third cornerback is probably not even like a fucking Canadian League player. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude's going to be an accountant. Like that's
but he balled up to the run to the championship too, didn't he? I mean, like they only lost one game. What did he lose? 2 games his whole career at UGA
for his 2 consecutive years in these back-to-back championship runs. He's played exceptionally well. I would have a different stance on it if he was bigger. That's all I'm saying. He's a really small dude that's not athletic with a weak arm. Like there's
dude, he's not slow though. Like he can scoot a little bit. How many rushing touchdowns does he have for his career? Like the man can move a little bit, bro. I don't know. I think we may be sleeping on Stetson Bennett. Like you look back in the draft and you see like what Brock Purdy is doing for the 49ers. And it's just like that. All these teams have all these like throwaway picks where it's like, oh, the 5th, 6th, 7th rounds, we're going to draft like special teamers and punters and return guys and fucking nickel corners that'll never make the roster who are 5'5". But we won't take a flyer on a guy who won 2 national championships and was like the best player on the field because he's 3 months younger than Joe Burrow. Like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. All this age shit where it's like, oh, he's older than Sam Darnold. He's 1 month older than Lamar Jackson. Like, who gives a shit? He's still going to be on a 5-year rookie deal if you draft him in the first round. Like, if you get him anywhere else, he's still going to get 4 years on this motherfucker. Like, you're going to have him from 25 to 29, which is probably when he's going to be at his best, and you're not going to be paying him shit. Like, people are talking about this guy like he's fucking Benjamin Button, 100 years old on the field. Like, the first time he gets touched, he's going to break his hip.
The problem is when you come into the league, and if you're not automatically, like, really good because he's 25 years old, it's a waste. He's 26, still not good. 27, still not good. By the time you're 30 and you're good, I mean, damn, Kurt Warner is like the only one where I'm like, all right, that's some cool shit. He became a Hall of Famer all of a sudden. That's one person out of how many quarterbacks we've seen in like the 70 years of the NFL. I don't know how long the NFL's been playing, but like, it's just not in the odds. The odds are against him, dog. It's just not looking good for your boy. In 5 years, he's 30. What are we doing here? It's not like,
but it's not. 30 isn't what it used to be for a quarterback in the NFL. Like now you're like, oh, he's 30. He still has 5 years left in his prime. Like back in the day, you'd be like 30. I don't know. Second contract. Do you really want to give it to him?
I say no.
Plus, does anyone like not think Lamar Jackson is still a young quarterback or that Joe Burrow is still a young quarterback? Like we still talk about like they're young. He's young. He's the same age as them, but he's old and they're young? That doesn't make any sense.
You're wasting your breath. You're wasting your breath. Those dudes are young and they've got years in the NFL. This dude is young. He's a young man, but he still hasn't played one snap in the NFL. And in 4 years, he's not going to be young anymore. And I get it. Between the ages of 30 and 35, you can still be pretty good. Nah, it's still like it's not a lot of guys that are out here just balling like that. Geno Smith gave me something special. That's cool. But it's not a lot of people doing that shit. It's really not.
You know what? You could write Stetson Bennett off as much as you want, but he ain't gonna write you back, Terry. That's that Geno Smith energy.
He won't. But look, if you want to compare him to like Brock Purdy or some shit, Purdy's a big dude, and he was really good at Iowa as well. So I can't do it. And Purdy wasn't a walk on. Purdy was good as fuck. He got a scholarship. Full ride. 5'11", 190, you're not doing it. I'm bigger than him. Stop it.
Hey, would I rather trade for Derek Carr or draft Stetson Bennett?
Give me Derek
Draft
Carr.
Stetson Bennett.
No,
for sure.
Give me Derek Carr. He played in the NFL for years.
I'm not sure Stetson Bennett is going to be that much worse, and he's making like a tenth of what Derek Carr is making. Like,
We'll see.
shit. Give me Stetson Bennett. Give me the kid. Somebody
He'll take
give the kid a chance, man.
I understand taking a flyer out on the kid, but I don't know. It's risky.
A little 5th round pick, something like that.
Nah, 7th round or undrafted.
7th round,
If
Jesus
you
Christ.
come before the 7th round, I'm done. I'm out. I'm firing you. If the Bears draft this guy, I'm gonna fire that.
Hey, Bears #1 pick. You've been looking for the quarterback of the future. He's only 3 years older than Justin Fields.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, we talked about it on the last pod. We're like, this could possibly happen. I was like, the Texans, they're going to fire Lovie Smith.
Yep.
He knew about it. He was like, you know what? Take this with you. A big fucking W as I walk out the door to ruin your fucking draft odds. You shouldn't have told me that you're going to fire me at the end of this season, bud, because we're going to go out here and win it and ruin your whole tankathon. I love to see that with Lovie Smith.
Hell yeah.
2 middle fingers all the way up to the Houston Texans, who have done 2 black coaches dirty in 2 years with David Culley and now him. It's like you guys weren't trying to win. You made it clear you're tanking all season, and now you're going to fire the coach in a tanking season. Like, come on, man. So it's only good football karma that they didn't get the #1 pick, but it's even better karma, Terry, for you
Yeah.
with a franchise quarterback, with $120 million in cap space, most in the NFL,
Yep.
with the #1 pick and pole position to trade it for a haul. Terry, we talked off wax a little bit about like what you wanted to do with that pick. There was a guy who you mentioned who plays for Georgia, one of those dogs, Jalen Carter, the big man in the middle at defensive tackle.
Big jail.
I think, Terry, you could be in a position to have a historic coup here, man. Because you know who's picking at #4?
Who you got?
The Indianapolis Colts.
Ooh, Jeff Saturday. Oh,
Who had
Jeff Sunday. Jeff Sunday.
Yeah. The Sabbath has passed, Terry. That's gone. We're on to next week. We're on to Baltimore. But they have pretty much everything on the roster but a quarterback. Sitting at #4. Perfect place to trade up to that #1 spot. According to Pro Football Focus's new mock that they just put out, that's exactly what's going down with the Colts trading up to the #1 pick. You guys go back to #4, and guess who's sitting right there at #4, just waiting to be scooped up by the Chicago Bears? None other than Jalen Carter.
I'd be really
How happy with is that the route you want them to go down? First of all, is that what you would do? Trade with the Colts, get an extra 1st-round pick down the line, maybe a 2/3 or something like that, and then just keep Justin Fields and draft Jalen Carter.
Man, it's a lot of things. I've been thinking about some shit in my mind. I've been thinking about also Justin Fields may have peaked, and maybe we can use him in the package. See if we can steal an even better quarterback. I'm not sure, but
Ooh, no. Go in on that real quick. Real quick. What makes you think that Justin Fields, maybe like his perception right now of his potential may outweigh the realistic like path that he takes to get there?
2 years in, bro. I love the running. The running is absolutely awesome. Like it's top 5 runner of all time. There's no debate about that shit. Dude just went fucking crazy. And it's only been 2 years. It seems like the Bears, if they're not trying to get an O-line, you need to get somebody that can get rid of the ball quickly, that has a brain that can process that type of shit, because he can't process shit that fast. He's not that type of guy. He's never been that guy. He's been an RPO dude at Ohio State. He's an RPO dude here. So I feel like you need somebody that can actually fucking throw the goddamn ball. Sneak somebody, maybe Deshaun, maybe Lamar. A little contract dispute.
Oh, you're talking about getting an established NFL veteran.
Getting somebody straight.
I was thinking you would do the Ohio State succession plan, and you trade Justin Fields, and you just draft what's his name?
Bryce Young.
Nah. No. Yeah. Excuse me. Who's the motherfucker at Alabama then?
Oh, fuck, you're right. Oh, C.J. Stroud. My bad.
C.J. Stroud. Yeah. Just draft C.J. Stroud. You know what I mean? The guy who replaced Justin Fields. You probably get a fucking haul for Justin Fields. Like
we can't go younger. I can't justify giving away somebody who looks good and then go younger again. Be like, all right, we got this guy's got even more potential. 2 more years of somebody else. Fuck that. This dude Justin Fields has proven to you he can go out there and at least get you close to winning the game. All you gotta do is kind of fill in the pieces, get him a better receiver, get better defensive players, do that type of shit. I think he's at his peak though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he possibly could get better, but I've seen Lamar win an MVP. I've seen Deshaun Watson, playing a playoff game. I feel like we can, if we can finagle some shit, this number 1 pick is really doing something for me that's exciting me. I think we can get a haul. I don't know what the haul is going to be. Stop barking. You're pissing me off.
So you would trade the number 1 pick and your starting quarterback? Do a little double dip?
Something. Especially, I think the only person that's worth drafting for me is Jalen Carter, because no one on our team is good interior wise, especially if you give away Roquan Smith, someone that can kind of cover up for the mistakes that we have on interior wise. Then you got to get some better interior players. We don't have a Roquan anymore that can just fucking gobble up anybody. It doesn't matter if the dude goes past 5 yards. Roquan can knock him back another yard, and it can turn into a 4-yard gain instead of 7 or 8. I think you can either get Jalen, the fucking absolute beast, or you get a haul of something. You got to give me a haul. If you don't give me a haul, I might check out again. It's really easy for me to check out, but I'll check in if you give me something.
Terry, you're gonna be checking in for a haul and Jalen Carter. I think it's the Colts have got to be going up to this number 1 pick, and for me, it's the decision is: do we keep Justin Fields and we draft Jalen Carter at 4, or do we trade Justin Fields for a crazy haul, and then we just take Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud at number 1? I agree with a lot of what you said about Justin Fields in terms of with young players, especially ones who show tantalizing flashes, we always project them to be better than they're most likely going to be. The potential of young players is always so tantalizing in our brain. We always think oh, they're just going to get better linearly year after year after year. And then year 3, he's going to be a little better. And year 4, he's going to be a little better. And by year 5, he's going to be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. And things don't usually work out like that generally, In the NBA, with young prospects, whoever gets drafted number 1, Chet Holmgren, they were oh, God, he's going to change lives. Now nobody gives a fuck about Chet Holmgren. It's been 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with Justin Fields, it's you mentioned, we've seen the running. He's super dynamic as a runner, but there's still a ton of questions over him throwing the ball. And it's if I can get somebody who can legitimately do both, I don't know if Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud can, but if either one of them can, you'd think that would be a pretty good value for you guys if you could trade somebody else who the rest of the league thinks is a burgeoning superstar, but you guys have the insider information. You see what he struggles with in practice. You see his work habits. You see all that type of shit. Yeah. If you think hey, he's not on the same trajectory. He doesn't have the same ceiling as one of these other guys we could take number 1.
Yeah.
Fucking trade his ass and take a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then you get 2 more years on his rookie deal too. With all this cap space that you can add veteran pieces around him and try to do the Seahawks shit where they had a completely loaded team and then a rookie quarterback who's good enough to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Nah, I think that's a good idea. The only thing I would say about the Colts trade in general is I don't know if I trust the Cardinals not to take Jalen Carter because they need a defensive lineman too with J.J. Watt retiring and shit. So
yeah, well then you'll have Will Anderson. One of those guys is going to be available, Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, and it's I'll take whichever one because they're both projected to be generational players and everything like that.
Yeah.
I know on the Falcons boards 2 years ago, they're talking about us tanking to get number 1 pick for Will Anderson when he was a fucking sophomore. So if that's your consolation prize, I think you're doing pretty good.
It'll be all right. We'll see. I don't know, man. We need something. That's all I'm saying.
So wait a minute. You pick a pathway. All right. You put on your GM hat. You used to be Ryan Pace. Now you're Ryan Poles. In 2 months, you'll be fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. But for now, put on the Terry DeShazo GM hat and tell me which of the 3 routes are you going? Are you going trade Fields for a veteran quarterback and take Jalen Carter? Are you going keep Fields and trade back to trade the number 1 pick and get a haul and take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson at 4? Or are you going the other way and say, trade Fields, give me whoever I want the best at the number 1 pick, and I'll just take the haul from Justin Fields?
I think you trade with the Colts. I think that'll probably be like the easiest move to do, because if we get the 4 pick this year, we get their number 1 pick next year, because they're going to be garbage again. Probably see if we can sneak a 2nd or 3rd from them too. And then,
oh yeah, for sure. You'll probably get like a 1 and 2 3s or something like that.
Like if we do some shit like that, I'm fine with it. And then end up with Anderson or Carter. I think that's probably one of the better deals. But if I'm trying to sneak some shit, talking to Baltimore, bro, I'm like, hey, I know your boys out there a little upset. Come to Chicago, baby. Come to the Windy City. We can play your dumbass.
No. Leave him alone, because he's coming to the A. All right? Yeah. The prophecy is complete. Okay. Since Michael Vick left, we had to suffer through 15 years of this statuesque white guy. It's time we restored the natural order of things and get Lamar Jackson to Atlanta. He's disgruntled. They don't want to give him the bag. They're talking about, I thought he was going to be back at practice. I hope it all doesn't work out. Lose to Cincinnati 100-0, like the college football national championship, and bring Lamar's ass to Atlanta where he belongs.
All I'm saying is, I know we got the money. We got the pick, and we got the most cap space. We got the money, so I ain't got no problem. And I feel like that's even. We give you we get Lamar. Nothing wrong with that. If we get Lamar, then we'll actually think about, like, all right, we got a chance. With Fields, it's still an unknown. Like, he is showing you potential, but at the same time,
Lamar's about to be a free agent. You wouldn't even need to give them Fields. You could trade Fields to whoever the fuck you wanted and sign Lamar outright with your cap space.
It's a possibility, but we'll see what Baltimore does. I don't know.
Yeah, you can sign Lamar and then just have a fucking bidding war across the league for Justin Fields.
Yeah. We just got to see how dumb Baltimore is. I know Baltimore is cheap, but I don't think they're stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what goes down. We'll see.
All right. Well, let's get into the playoff matchups then, man. Lamar and the Ravens, they're taking on the Bengals. This is going to be Lamar Jackson's first game back in, 5 weeks?
He missed 5 games straight, so.
Yeah, Tyler Huntley tried holding down the fort. Unfortunately, the fort collapsed around him. Somebody kicked the sticks out, and the sheet fell on top of his head. I believed in Tyler Huntley. I was like, yeah, he's not bad, man. I was like, Tyler Huntley could probably start for one of these teams. No, I take it all back. He sucks. He belongs back in the Canadian League. I was wrong the whole time.
I don't know about that. I think he's a backup. I think he deserves to be a backup in the NFL if that's what he wants. You can be a star in the CFL, but
when your offense is averaging like under 10 points a game for 5 games straight, like, nah. Sorry, dude.
Is he better than Davis Mills?
Nah, he's not.
If you don't think he's better than him, then I got you. Get out the league then.
Davis Mills had that game-winning touchdown last week on Sunday.
God damn it. You're right. Hey, you're right. I'll give it to you. Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about it, man. They're playing Ravens-Bengals. It's at 8:15 on Monday night. This is the big game of the whole week and weekend. Lamar Jackson against Joe Burrow. 2 guys who are 2 months apart, but everybody thinks they're 5 years apart for some reason. Joe Burrow started the season pretty poorly. There are tons of question marks around the Bengals team, and they've just gone on a fucking tear, have really achieved good synergy, and are now starting to click on all fronts. Excuse me. They're favored in this game by 6.5 points, Terry. Who are you taking?
First, I want to give a shout out to the Bengals, bro, because when Joe Burrow, what did he do? Like tear his ACL his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. I just got to give a shout out to the GM. He's like, look, finding an offensive lineman is kind of hard, but I know Jamar Chase is good as fuck. I know T. Higgins is really good, and I know Terrence Boyd is nice. If I give you 3 receivers that can get off a press real quick, I don't have to have a good O-line. Fuck the O-line. Just have Joe Burrow throw them quick joints, and we're good to go. So I got credit for that. They got 3 legit number 1 to number 2 options as receivers. So, like, that shit's awesome. Now, for the game, the Ravens defense has been playing pretty well for the past couple of weeks. You know, they had some questions, earlier on in the season and midway in the season. So with the addition of Lamar coming back and the defense playing well, it could be a scarier game than we think, and it's a divisional game, so they know each other pretty well, both of these teams. I still got to give it to Joe. Joe's a fucking beast. Lamar's going to be coming in rusty. And also, the Ravens got no fucking receivers. They still don't have a receiver. Like, dude won MVP. You can't get him one legit target. You traded away Marquise Brown. Don't know what the fuck that was all about. I don't know what you guys are doing. Mark Andrews can't do it all, bro. He can't do it by himself. Lamar can't do it by himself.
I know why they traded Hollywood Brown. I know exactly why they did. Because he's 5'10", and Lamar Jackson is not the most accurate guy in the world. They're like, we'd love to have somebody with like a 6'5" catch radius be able to go get some of these errant throws.
But they got no one back though.
No, I mean all their guys got hurt. What's his name? The dude who they picked number 1, Terrence Marshall. No, that's the Carolina guy.
I have no idea.
I forget his name. I drafted him in fantasy. He got hurt fucking week 1, out for the season. Fucking Devin Duvernay, like the guy who does all their slot work and their punt return guy, he got hurt midway through the season. Yeah. Now it's like they're throwing balls to guys who got cut from Kansas City 4 weeks ago. Like, yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm taking the Bengals in this one. I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl before the season. I thought this was going to be Lamar's year. I thought they had a really well-rounded team. I thought they were decimated by injuries the year previous. I was like, they got the defense. Their offense is going to be able to run on anybody. They're going to be a tough out. And to be honest, Tara, if he had been like healthy all season, I probably would have still picked the Ravens. But
yeah, I think I would have too.
To come back in the situation that you described with a decimated wide receiver corps where he has no one to throw the ball to, where you'll have 2 days of practice, not even a full week, and you haven't played in a month and a half. It's a tall order. It's a lot to ask for Lamar Jackson against a really good team. If they're playing the Dolphins or something like that, I'd probably still take the Ravens. But they're not. They're playing the Bengals. So I got to give this one up to Joe Burrow. And starting the season 0-2, all the FPI analytics, ESPN predictors, they're done. Only 4% of teams that start 0-2 ever make the playoffs. Yeah, Joe Burrow said, take that and I'll show you where to stick it. We're going all the way. There's something special about this guy, man. They asked him, they're like, what's your window to win a championship with the Bengals? He was like, as long as I'm on the field. That's the window.
That guy, he's got the confidence, bro. You know, I was late to the party, but I think he's pretty legit now, bro. He's pretty legit. He's a top 5 guy.
Oh, you think?
I mean, they made the Super Bowl, but he started off the season shaky again. So I was just like, I don't know. 3rd year in, I guess I got to give it to him. He's legit. Coming in year 4, I think he's going to be the guy. So, I mean, still, Patrick Mahomes is fucking, of course, he's still really good. But Joe Burrow, he's going to be up there. I will say this, though. The first drive for the Ravens will probably be like the most important drive of the whole season because J.K. Dobbins is back and he's starting to look like himself. He had, I think, multiple 100-yard games, if I'm not mistaken, like in the last 4 weeks. He's looking really good. The knee doesn't seem to be bothering him. If they can play with the lead, I'm worried about the game. But if they're behind, it's over. They can't play from behind. They can only play with a lead. So first drive, bro. If they don't score,
I mean, to your point, Terry, in every game they lost this season, they had a lead in the 4th quarter. Like they've been ahead in position to win every game this season.
Tough. So also the rotation of running backs is tough too, though. Like you can say you got the fucking Denver Broncos Mike Shanahan scheme of running all you want, but you have to have a legit running back that can actually give you a broken tackle every now and then. That can make a play in space. You can't just have Kenyon Drake and fucking whoever the fuck else the committee of running backs they had all season. Besides
and they're gonna say we do, and his name is Lamar Jackson.
No. But look, J.K. Dobbins was a great running back in college. He was a 2nd-round pick. Like he should do something for them. But if they don't score in the first drive, I think it's over. It's over.
It's going to be tough chasing the game when you have nobody to throw it to. I definitely agree. All right, let's move on to the next one then, man. Let's talk Giants and Vikings. This Giants team is pretty similar to me to the Ravens, just kind of like a worse version of it. You know, Daniel Jones is doing his best Lamar Jackson impression. The wide receiving core might be worse than the Ravens, even at full strength. When your best receiver is a rookie named Wan'Dale Robinson, who's 5'1", you might be in trouble. But so they're playing the Vikings. They're an underdog. It's -3. It's in Minnesota. Minnesota's first home playoff game since the Minnesota Miracle. They played this regular season, and Minnesota barely won off a last-second 61-yard field goal. But for me, it's like the way that Minnesota got gobsmacked by the Packers is like they're going to be looking for some get back. And the way that Justin Jefferson had one catch for like 1 yard, he's going to be extremely motivated against this Giants defense that isn't really known for having a top corner. So I'm giving this one to the Vikings. I just think the offensive firepower at the end of the day when the margins get tight, it's like the Vikings have it and the Giants just don't. And like it comes down to Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's in the playoffs. And I just don't think the Giants have enough Jimmys and Joes to win this game.
I think the Giants are just a year too early, bro. Like, I'm not saying that they're absolute frauds, like people like to say that about the Vikings this year, but in a division that was decently tough, I got to give them a little credit. They came up to the plate and they played pretty well. Judge is the coach, right? Or who the fuck is it? Who's the coach?
Brian Daboll.
Daboll, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why I said Judge. Yeah, Daboll.
He was the guy who got fired for Daboll.
Judge. Now, Daboll's he's giving me a decent coaching job, especially like when you have quarterbacks like Daniel Jones, and a lot of people like to call him Danny Dimes. You got to be a little conservative. You got to, play to his strengths, and I think he's done that. But when it comes to the playoffs in certain situations, like you have to be able to make throws, and these receivers have been kind of they're giving me nothing, bro. I'm sorry, like I just don't like them, and I don't like Daniel Jones. You got to make throws. You can't just run the ball for 250 yards with Saquon Barkley. It's not going to happen. Minnesota's defense is too good.
They're going to take that shit away, man, and they're going to make you like throw it all over the park and be one-dimensional. Like
you got to be balanced, bro. So they don't have enough balance for me. And Jefferson, he's definitely going to give you some. Cook is really good. Thielen, veteran. Like I think the Vikings got it. I think their offense is going to show me something a little better. And it's in a dome, so I'm domed up. I'm domed and ready. Jefferson's got this all day. Vikings.
I'm with you. Let's move on then. Next one, Seahawks at 49ers. 49ers are 10-point favorites in this. They beat the Seahawks twice this season, including in Week 15 with Brock Purdy.
Yep.
I don't really see anyone who's picking the Seahawks in this. I think Geno Smith might be the only one who's picking the Seahawks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brock Purdy has looked sensational. The motherfucker might make the Pro Bowl despite only playing 5 weeks. Christian McCaffrey is the X factor they're looking for. Their defensive line is back healthy, where they're like getting that personnel group in where they can rush 3 and rush 4 and just drop everyone back in coverage. Yeah. Fred Warner is a heat-seeking missile that wears a helmet. And Hufanga, this motherfucker is just lightning in a bottle, man.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like they come downhill and they fucking hit you. And, the Seahawks, they like taking a bunch of deep shots to DK and Tyler Lockett. It's going to be like a high-variance game. But I think the 49ers are just like too loaded with talent, too aggressive, hunters as opposed to the hunted. And Kyle Shanahan is just a better play caller and coach at this point than Pete Carroll. I think that they're going to win this one rather easily, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the McCaffrey shit just put them over the top, bro. Like, he just opened up the playbook a lot more. He conserved Debo a lot more, like, so that he didn't run himself into the ground. They're just too good, man. I think since they got McCaffrey, how many games have they lost? 2? 1? I don't think they're undefeated, but
yeah, they lost to us. I think that was the first week they got McCaffrey. We beat them, and
yeah,
we beat the brakes off them. But
and he got the ball.
That was our best game of the season, and Marcus Mariota won NFC Offensive Player of the Week that week. So that should let you know what an aberration that game is, and how we should just throw it in the fucking toilet and flush it down. It means nothing.
That's done. But let's talk about it. Brock Purdy, best quarterback in NFL. I mean, undefeated. 6-0, dog.
He looks like every backup quarterback you ever saw got like mixed together, and then they just like were like, we'll just make your face out of every backup quarterback that plays in the NFL.
Yeah, he's good, man. This dude Kyle Shanahan, bro. If Kyle Shanahan, like, can you imagine if you gave him like fucking, I don't even
Trey Lance.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie. I like Trey Lance, but I told you week 1 when I saw him, because I didn't see any games he played last year, like towards the end of the season. I was like, this dude's gonna get hurt, automatic. Broke his fucking ankle next week. Anyways, if you could, like, imagine if he had like fucking Deshaun Watson or like somebody chill, somebody like real chill in the pocket and like that can do shit. Like Brock Purdy, I mean, like, he does no mistakes, bro. He never does it. Like every throw is just easy. He always seems to have time in the pocket. McCaffrey's always open. Debo's open. Whoever's running back doesn't fucking matter. Like, dude is just a no mistake making coach. This motherfucker's really good at mediocre quarterbacks.
And Brock Purdy, he's turned into Luka Doncic. You remember Luka was like, it's easier to score in the NBA than it was in Europe. Brock Purdy's like, oh, same thing in the NFL. Actually, it's a lot easier than it was in college.
It's crazy, man. I mean, like, we're going to see, not in this game particularly, but don't sleep. Don't just, everybody just be like, oh, they're going to win by 30. We don't know that. Seahawks still have a decent team. I'm not saying that. But we're actually going to see if Brock can do some shit, you know, because you do have to throw. You can't just, you know, give me 17 throws in a game and 3 touchdowns later, oh, we won by 40. Nah, you're going to have to give me something. So I'm excited to see what he's got in the playoffs. It's a different ball.
It's just wild to me that, like, we're at the place where the guy who was this year's Mr. Irrelevant is a 10-point favorite in the first round of the playoffs.
It's wild.
Like,
bro.
This is the story of the NFL season. Like, we've never seen anything like this in the history of the NFL, that the last player drafted, the guy who had, like, number 700 on all your draft boards, comes in and is playing better than every quarterback that got drafted. And we just keep waiting like, oh, this is the week the wheels are going to fall off. He can't sustain this forever. There's a reason he got picked in the 7th round. Next week, oh, well, this got to be the week the wheels fell off. Can't sustain this forever. He got picked in the 7th round. Before you know it, we're in the playoffs, and he's a 10-point favorite. And veteran quarterbacks are looking down the other side like, my butt's getting a little – I got to play against Brock Purdy. I got to put up some points today.
I mean, bro, is he that much worse than Garoppolo? Like,
he's better than Garoppolo.
Pretty
he's
much
better.
Pretty much the same. I mean,
he's better at throwing. Like, he's better at throwing the ball than Garoppolo is. Garoppolo, you remember, he couldn't make no throws outside the numbers. It was all in between. Brock Purdy diming these fucking out routes to Ayuk like it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we're 6 games into the Purdy experiment. 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, 67% completion percentage, 107 quarterback rating.
If this motherfucker wins the Super Bowl, Terry, I swear to God, man. Like, move over, Joe Burrow.
Hey, just give Kyle Shanahan a quarterback, bro. He was your coach, right? When you had Matt Ryan?
When Matt Ryan won the MVP.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody get him a quarterback. NFL's done. We won't talk about anybody else. Give him a great quarterback. It's over, bro. It is fucking over, bro. San Francisco. It's not even a question. 3-0. It's hard to beat.
Give Kyle Shanahan a quarterback so he can build a 25-point lead and then lose it in a matter of seconds.
Hey, you got to make these throws, Matt. It's not just Kyle, all right? It's the blame for everybody. You got to make something happen. Anyways,
it's not all on Kyle. It's not all on Kyle.
Nurse Rivers enters the chat. Hey, look, like I was about to say, it's hard to beat teams 3 times, but I think San Francisco's got a squad for it. They don't really make a lot of mistakes. And they got no, never mind. Some Trent Williams came back. The team is, I think, fully loaded now. So
yeah, they back healthy. Like, they ready to go, man.
Yeah, they're good to go. Game time.
All right. Well, let's talk about a game that has a little bit more intrigue then. The 49ers, it seems like everyone in the world is taking them. But the Chargers are playing at the Jaguars in the wild card round this weekend. And the home Jaguars are still only favored by 1.5 points.
Sounds about right.
Last time they played, it was like one of the most surprising games in the NFL season. I'm sure you remember this one when the Jaguars blew them out 38-10 on the road, and Trevor Lawrence threw 3 touchdowns and had 400 yards.
Big Trev. He's showing.
Is he putting on a repeat performance for Los Angeles?
Nah, I don't think so. If I'm not mistaken, Bosa was hurt, right? He wasn't in that game?
Yeah, I believe so.
Bosa's back. I believe Mac is healthy too. This is what
Mike Williams hurt himself in the fourth quarter of a meaningless game.
He's always hurt. Mike Williams always gets fucking hurt for some reason. Good, really good player, but him and fucking Keenan Allen, I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. The Chargers defense seems to be back kind of healthy at the right time. So I'm not sure. I like Trevor Lawrence. I like Etienne. I like Kirk. I like Edwards or Ingram. My bad. I like Ingram a lot, but I don't know. The Chargers pass rush is back to full strength, bro. With Mac and Bosa on the edges, the Jaguars are gonna have to come up with a little scheme. I like your boy Peterson, the coach, but I don't know, man. And Herbert is really fucking good. It's a down season for him, if we're being honest.
Were they the same draft class, him and Lawrence, or was Herbert the one before?
I think Herbert was after. I thought Herbert's younger than Lawrence, no? Or are they? If they're the same,
Lawrence this is his second year in the league. This is Herbert's. I can't remember if it's his second or his third.
I think Herbert's second. This is Lawrence's second. I thought it was his third.
Yeah, they're the same draft.
Same? Okay. All right. Battle of the boys. Well, Trevor
I believe so, at least.
Where the fuck did Herbert come from? Because Herbert is pretty decent, bro. Where did he play? Like Cal or some shit? Or like Utah or something? Like, what college did he go to? Missouri?
Wait a minute. If they weren't the same draft class. Herbert's 1 year older than him. He was Joe Burrow's year. Herbert was Joe Burrow's year.
Got it.
All right. Hey, you never know, though. You never know the things that these guys get competitive about, though. Like everyone was kissing Justin Herbert's dick the first 2 years that he was in the NFL. The Ringer.com was ranking him as the best quarterback in the league, despite never winning a playoff game. Everyone was talking about him like he was better than guys who actually won MVPs. And everyone was talking about Trevor Lawrence like he was sunshine from fucking Remember the Titans. Got a chance to change that whole narrative now. Trevor Lawrence might look at this and say, listen, man, there's only room for one surfer-looking, cool, laid-back white guy, all right? And this new sheriff in this town is me. It's not Frankie Hammond. It's Trevor Lawrence.
It's just the difference between coaching, man. He had the worst coach probably the NFL's ever seen. Nick Saban was pretty bad, too. But Urban Meyer was a horrible
Hey, I'd like to nominate Bobby Petrino, who fled after 4 games when Michael Vick got arrested.
What about your boy who just got fired in Arizona? Kirk Kingsbury? Is that his one?
Motherfucker lasted 4 seasons.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bobby Petrino lasted 4 games. Then he left a fucking post-it note in the locker room that said, I'm out. Thanks.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying, like, these dudes pretty much, besides passing yards, Herbert has 600 more passing yards than him, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. They pretty much are around the same, but the narrative is like Herbert had a down season and Lawrence had a really good season. They're around the same to me. I like Lawrence a little better because he has a legit coach that's like not fucking shit up. The Chargers coach, with all due respect to any coach that's ever coached, he's probably one of the worst like decision makers at the end of games I've ever seen in my fucking life. And
he doesn't have like a reference point. Like at the beginning, he was like, I'm an analytics guy. Like we went for it on 4th down all the time because that's what the analytics told us to do. Then it was like, all right, I had to learn that the analytics aren't everything. I'm going to go with my gut. Your gut ended up being terrible too. So it's like, now what do? You have nothing to hang your hat on. You have no reasoning behind why you're making these decisions. You're just like, the game feels like the defense would be more scared if we went for it.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if that's a way to like get wins in the playoffs, bro.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars strictly because of coaching.
Yeah, I knew you would. I knew you'd come around.
And they're at home. I just don't like this Chargers head coach, bro. Like, Herbert is good. Chargers defense is decent. but a lot of injuries are kind of fucking up their offensive chemistry. So I don't know, man. I'm going to Jags, bro. I got Jags probably by 3. They'll probably win by a field goal, but I like the Jags.
This is the game that I've like seen the least amount of both these teams, like over the course of the season compared to any of these games. I probably watched the Jaguars played for like 80% of 2 games, and the Chargers play 1. So I'm not going to sit up here and act like I've been watching the ups and downs of their whole season and I know the minutia of what's going on, because I certainly fucking don't. But I'll take a step back and just look at the macro picture. And this, if both of these guys are good, it's like this is going to be a rivalry for a long time between Herbert and Lawrence. And I'm with you. I think Lawrence, I think he swings first.
I think he sneaks this one, bro. I don't know, man. Like the only reason why I know a decent amount about him, I had him in fantasy, so I watched a decent amount of games. He scored. To tell you the fucking outcome of my fantasy team for anybody who gives a fuck, Trevor Lawrence scored the most points for me in my entire team. So I probably came in either last or second to last, or anyone's guesstimation. But
yeah, second to last.
I mean, you know.
Fortunately, beat my girlfriend in the toilet bowl. Congratulations, Terry.
I had an unlucky season, bro. I scored like 100 points almost every week, but you know, it is what it is. Hey, look. Second most points scored against me, which is like out of my control. There's nothing I can do about that. Shout out to Charlie Wilson. But yeah, Trev, I mean, like he's a decent quarterback, bro. Herbert has really let me the fuck down. And I get it. Receivers are kind of hurt, but
this game, it might be that State Farm commercial where Chris Ball is going down the escalator and Steph Curry is coming up.
So we both got Jags, man.
All right, let's move on to the next one then, man. Dolphins Bills. No Tua Tagovailoa. He's got his 17th concussion.
There's no way he's playing, right?
No, he's not going to play in this game. It's going to be Teddy Two Gloves. They're playing against the Buffalo Bills, who just watched one of their teammates die to get resurrected on the football field like 10 days ago. They're going to get fucking smacked, dude. And it's in Buffalo. Miami hasn't won in a cold weather game all year long with Tua, and now they're supposed to travel up to Buffalo to the team of destiny who's playing for something bigger than themselves and win with their backup quarterback. Come on, man. Get out of here. Buffalo's going to run them off the fucking field.
Oh, bro. I'm not so quick to say that they won't win, bro. I don't know. Like, it's not like they blew them out this season. The Dolphins beat them in Miami. I understand it was hot. And the Dolphins fucking stadium is like geniusly made where the away side has the sun on them and the home side has the shade. Like that shit's dope as fuck. But the Dolphins played in the snow. And I think Robert Mostert broke his thumb, so he's gonna be out. That's gonna be tough. But it was a close game in the snow. I'm not so quick to say that the Dolphins are gonna lose. I understand Tua is like the engine of how their team kind of works, but Teddy's a vet. You know, if the Bills give me a couple mistakes, if their brain is kind of, you say they're going to play up for their guy. I get it. The shit was a little traumatizing. They're going to be a little in their heads if it doesn't go all well. I'm not going to be so quick to say it's over. Both games were close. Dolphins beat them first game. Bills beat them by 4 in the second game in a snow game, which is supposed to be the Bills fucking shit. I don't know if it's going to snow this week or not. I'm just saying.
That's also, though, when the Bills were playing their worst and the Dolphins were playing their best, and they still beat them. And that was with Tua, who was an MVP candidate, who you're replacing with a career journeyman, and you're expecting like they're going to have the same level of production. I don't see that happen. Moreover, like this is more about Buffalo to me and less about Miami. Like, you know me from the beginning of the season, I was not impressed with Buffalo. Everyone was talking, are they going to go undefeated? Yeah. I was like, no, they can't run the ball. I got serious questions about them in the playoffs. I am not drinking the Buffalo Kool-Aid.
That's facts.
Terry, I think the DeMar Hamlin injury may have changed things for me. I'm dead serious because it's like this team now is fortified and unified in a way that they weren't before. They're playing for something bigger than a championship, something bigger than the logo on their helmet, and they're connected in a way that like no team in the NFL is probably. When they took that opening kickoff to the house after their first play, after getting the game canceled and watching their teammate die in the field, bro, those special team guys were blocking their fucking ass off. They knew that shit was going to their house before he even kicked it. They're like, I don't care if he kicks it into row Z. You're taking this out of the fucking end zone all the way back. And when you have a team that's like rolling like that, where everyone's sacrificing, when everyone has like in their mind something greater that they're playing for, that's a dangerous team. And that's usually what championship teams look like. And I know on paper I didn't like the running game. You know, I had my questions about what if they get behind and, you know, they can't just unleash the dogs on the defensive line. They have to stop the run and chase a game. Yeah. This changed things for me, man. This changed things for me. And I think this Buffalo Bills team is going to come out here with their hair on fire like the team of destiny, playing for DeMar, who's watching them from a hospital bed. I think the Dolphins will get run the fuck over and flatten. The Buffalo Bills, there's something special about them now. And the rest of the NFL, they better watch out.
What's the odds? What's the
odds?
Who are they favored by?
Bills are favored by 10.
10.5. You think they're going to win by 11?
Yeah. I think this is going to be like a fucking statement. Like, we're not the team we were from week one that was the Eagles with Nnamdi Asomugha, where we have the greatest collection of talent and who's going to be able to stop us. This is a different team. It's like when we get punched in the mouth, we punch back. And I really think that was an inflection point that changed how their season will go. And I very think it's possible. Like if they are winning this all at the end, that's what they all look back to and say that's the moment when it became real.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think just this one game will probably be closer than what we think. Like the Dolphins somehow kind of had their number, and we saw it in two different absolute extreme environments. One game was like 90-something degrees. The other game was like -2. And the games were still close. So I got to give them a little bit more credit. I have to. That's all I'm saying. I think
if they had Tua, I would. But they don't. They got Teddy Two Gloves. And I've seen that movie. And I've seen the sequel. And I've seen the sequel to the sequel. And then I saw the spinoff. And then I saw the remake of the spinoff. And I still don't like what I see. I'm not picking them in the playoffs.
I got you. Hey, clear Tua. Fuck it. What you got to lose?
All right, dude. We got one left on our lineup, Terry.
One game?
All right. Yeah, this is the one I know you couldn't wait to talk about. So much so, in fact, that you left the studio altogether.
Go for it.
A rematch of our week one opening week. I think it was, the first game of the whole NFL season? Cowboys against the Buccaneers?
Nah, that was Bills-Rams.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But it was
the coming out party of Josh Allen who threw 2 picks. The coming out party. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're right. Hey, the other thing I looked up real quick on the Bills, if they do fuck up this playoffs, it's because he doesn't take care of the football. 9 fumbles this year. 9 fumbles, Josh Allen? 9?
He's got 20 turnovers. No.
Maybe
30?
Teddy Bridgewater isn't the only one with little hands. I don't know.
No. Does he have 30 turnovers? After the 9? I think he does have 30-something.
No, there's no way he threw 21 picks. There's no way.
Oh, I got to look it up. 9 fumbles is crazy, though.
Right. The coronation, the coming out party, the 9 fumbles. He's got to take care of it if they expect to be this team of destiny. He can't be coughing that shit up trying to be a running back.
Nah, he only threw 14 picks. He threw 14 picks.
Hey, either way, 23 turnovers in a 17-game season. Not ideal.
That's a lot. And shout out to Geno Smith for passing Russell Wilson for the most passing yards in Seahawks history, bro. Russell, oh my God. Is he a Hall of Famer? Just tangent. Just a small tangent. This is bad. He can't play this bad again.
I think if he had just retired instead of going to the Broncos, he would have been. But he's like doing so much damage to his legacy with the Broncos, he may play his way out of the Hall of Fame. This
is like, and I'm going to keep it still small. This is kind of like how I feel you feel about LeBron. Like you were like, yeah, LeBron, he's probably like a top 2. And then like after he kept playing for the Lakers, you're just like, I don't know, he's kind of sliding. Like he kept playing. I don't know how I feel about LeBron. I'm just like, hold on, let's see some more seasons. All right, calm down. Yeah, but you might be right. I don't know, Russell. Yeah. Retire, bro. Retire before we're just like, yeah, he's garbage. How old is he? 35?
30, yeah, he's like 34, something like that, maybe.
Come on, dog. Don't give me the natural progression of the 90s. It's 2022, 2023. We got newer technology. Get it together, Russell. Anyways.
I don't think this is the future that Sierra signed up for. I don't think this is the future she had in mind.
I don't think so either.
So let's go back to the man, the myth, the GOAT, the guy who's putting out a like full feature film this summer for some reason about the life and times of Tom Brady. Have you seen that?
No, he's putting out a film?
Yeah. You know how LeBron is putting out that like house party movie that's like we just had a party with LeBron's house and talked to his hologram? Yeah. Tom Brady's doing the same shit. He's doing the same shit. We're just going to watch him fucking eat cucumber sandwiches and make out with his son. That's the whole fucking preview.
I like Tom, but he's just doing too much.
Does he have enough left in the tank to take down the Cowboys one last time, man? He did it in week 1. You know, Dak Prescott came out here and played like shit. The Bucs defense looked legit. You know, since then, Bucs defense has been up and down. They had trouble stuffing the run despite like having Vita Vea and a bunch of huge motherfuckers back there. The people complain about the offensive play calling all year, saying Byron Leftwich needs to be fired. They should just give the play calling to Tom Brady. And yet they persevered and stuck it out, and they're like probably playing their best ball of the season right now. I mean, if you don't count getting waxed 20-0 in the second half against the Falcons after they sat down Tom Brady and most of the starters. But it's like Julio, he's ramping up. He's healthy. He's contributing. You know, they found a two-headed solution in the backfield with Rachaad White and with Lenny Fournette. And then, of course, you know, you got Mike Evans. You got, his name is escaping me, Chris Godwin. You know, when you got those 4 guys on the field, Godwin, Julio, Russell Gage, and Mike Evans, it's like one of those guys is going to be open. And the last thing to consider about this dude is, and I forgot where I read this, but I wish I could give them credit. I saw an article about how the Cowboys have played, like, their defense, how they play on grass compared to how they play on turf. And it's like a whole different fucking team. When they're on turf, those boys are flying around fast, mile a minute, racking up pressures, getting to the quarterback, closing the space. No one has any room on the dump-offs. But when they went to grass, them motherfuckers looked like they were on Soldier Field, man. Stepping in divots, losing their footing, unable to flip their hips, can't close on the ball the same. They're playing in grass in Tampa, Terry. I'm picking the GOAT in this one. I think the Cowboys fucking cowboy once again. And Tom Brady pulls through another close, probably shitty game, just like he has so many times this year.
You might be right, man. I might have to pick the 3rd best football player of all time. I might have to pick Brady, bro. I don't know. I don't know, bro. This
who's number 1 and 2? Otto Graham and Fran Tarkenton?
Dion and Lawrence Taylor. But not
what?
I'm literally just fucking with you. Tom Brady's the best. There's no debate. I don't know, man. Tampa is a very interesting team. I don't think they persevere shit. I just think the NFC South is really fucking bad. That's the only reason why they made the playoffs. This team is not good. They beat the Cowboys 18 weeks ago. And I understand we got the stats. I think Micah Parsons is 2nd best. Maybe, I'll probably say 3rd or 4th best player in the NFL right now. The Cowboys have been kind of slumping. But the Bucs defense, bro, am I supposed to believe in them? Am I supposed to believe in that defense? They have not really been that good all season. They give you spurts of some shit, but in totality, Really bad. Leonard Fournette, 668 rushing yards this year. I'm supposed to believe in him. All of a sudden, he's fucking Christian McCaffrey with 500 receiving yards. Oh, he's a fucking stat back. Like, y'all, two-headed monster all you want. If Brady has to do the same shit he's been doing all season.
First of all, I said solution, not monster. When your leading rusher has 500 yards, I don't think you can call it a two-headed monster.
Yeah, bro. I got no faith in them, dude. Like, I know the Cowboys are slumping at probably the worst time, but I cannot sit here and say Tom Brady, who pretty much is just throwing for garbage yards. Like, he almost threw for 5,000 again, if he did not do it.
He led the NFL in passing again.
It's just
he did it again.
It's just, they're losing all the games. He throws it 50 times. Byron Leftwich is just like, here, throw this 3-yarder, throw this 3-yarder, throw this 4-yarder, throw this 7-yarder. Julio Jones, sprain your ankle for no reason. Let's keep going. Chris Godwin, you're hurt too.
But that's how you beat this Dallas defense. It's like they're gonna play cover 3, cover 1 all game. I'm gonna beat you by death via 1,000 cuts and take all these 5 and 7 yard passes until I get to the fucking red zone. Like we saw Tom Brady do that to Dan Quinn's defense in the goddamn Super Bowl when we had a 30 fucking point lead. And he was like, okay, I'll take this 5 yard. I'll take this 6 yard. I'll take this 5 yard. I'll take this 4 yard. Next thing we know, we're fucking losing.
No, that's facts. Oh, no. There's no way Brady was the leader. He only had 4,600 yards. I'm sure somebody threw for that.
He was the leader.
Not Josh Allen? Nobody?
Nah, it was Brady. He led in passing yards.
Fuck Tom Brady.
And attempts.
Yeah, on attempts we know. He was up. He probably had 1,000 attempts this year. But I don't know, man. I mean, they might just have the Cowboys number. You're right. There's literally no argument for me except for that the Bucs are just not a good team. If the Bucs be the Cowboys again, bro, Dak, you got to go. Zeke, you lost all that weight for no reason. Gain it back. Fuck it. Retire. If they don't give the ball way more to Tony Pollard than they do to Zeke.
Terry, he's a free agent. He's gone.
Big Zeke?
No, Tony Pollard.
Oh, he's a free agent? Damn.
Yeah, he's gone. They're not paying him and Zeke. They're already paying Zeke $12 million a year. They can't pay him and Tony Pollard.
They're paying Zeke a lot. Zeke, I feel like Zeke's a really good goal line back, though. I can't deny that. All the other shit, he can block, too. He's a decent blocker, but just general running and catching, I
can't pay a third down pass protecting back and a goal line dude fucking elite. They're paying him more than Todd Gurley when Todd Gurley was getting 2,000 yards. Like, come on, man. That's not the way to go. But the Cowboys, it's just like, I got no confidence in them. They're not on the turf. They're on the grass, in the muck. Hopefully it's going to be raining. They're playing against the GOAT. Dak has never had, like, the playoff composure that, like, people equated to him since his rookie season. Like, he came in his rookie year, won one playoff game, and everyone's like, oh, he's the adult in the room. He's the ultimate leader. No moment's too big for him, yada, 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 yada. And now that he has $200 million, he's trying to be the man. And he's like, we're going to win because of me. And it's like, no, you're not that guy. Like, they'll win if you can avoid fucking it up, Mr. $200 million man. But I'm not sure they get that in Dallas yet. And I think Dak is going to try to do too much, and it's going to bite him in the butt. I'm picking the Bucs in this one. Tom Brady, keep marching on.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so, bro. Dak, I'm telling you, bro, if he does it again, if he fails me again, not me. I'm not a Cowboys fan.
I was like, what? Fails you?
I liked him in college, but
I root for all black quarterbacks up into a point where you start sucking. You can ask Tyler Huntley.
I can't say I root for all of them. Deshaun, I'm sorry, brother. I can't.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you come into the NFL, when you first come in the league, I'm rooting for every black quarterback. Then you got to, like, give me a reason not to root for you, like Deshaun did.
No, that's facts. It's just, he can't be top 10. He can't be. He cannot be. If he can't win this game, he can't be top 10. And if he's still top 10, I'm questioning everybody behind 8. 8 and behind, you're all garbage to me then. There's no fucking way. If he loses this game.
Keyshawn Johnson, he said Dak Prescott is Kirk Cousins with a better PR team. But I think that may even be disrespectful to Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I think Dak did have one complete season where it was like, all right, he's decent. I got to look at the numbers again. I got to look at the numbers again, but as I'm saying that shit, I have no idea. He's got to win this game, bro. Do you believe in him?
Are they picking him? No. I'm picking the decrepit corpse of Tom Brady in a dysfunctional team that doesn't have a winning record. Of course I don't believe in him.
So you don't believe in him at all? Like, no belief? Zero?
No belief, man. No belief. I don't think this team knows, like, what they are. Like, I don't think they know how they're going to win. Like, they're like, we're so talented, we can win in a myriad of ways. We could run the football. We could throw it deep to CeeDee Lamb. We can get after your passer. We have great linebackers who run to the football. It's like, you need to have a calling card. You need to have something you can hang your hat on when times get tough and you get in these, you know, high pressurized moments. You need to have something to fall back on that you know is going to fucking work. And I don't know what that thing is for the Dallas Cowboys.
You're right. I mean, if there's a situation where like it's a 3rd and 5 and we need this 3rd and 5,
yeah,
like,
we already know he's throwing it to Noah Brown and it's going to hit him in the fucking chest and get broken up. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm going to say that the Cowboys are going to win this strictly because I'm not going to say the talent, but I will say Micah, Diggs, Dak, CD, Zeke, Tony Pollard. They got to get this shit done. If you don't get this shit done, I will never say, like, the Cowboys will never come. That word, Cowboys, I'm out. You're never going to win with these guys. These guys will never win it for you. It's never going to happen. Plus, Jerry Jones, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you had Amari Cooper, you had CeeDee Lamb, you had Noah Brown, and you had Michael Gallup. Now you got CD as your number one. I mean, he did decent the last couple months of the season, but he's not a number one. You think CeeDee Lamb's a number one receiver, bro? I like him, but not like that. He's a number 2.
I mean, he's good. We'll have to see. Like, it's also hard to be a number 1 when you have no number 2. Like, it's a lot easier for Amari Cooper to do what he was doing when CeeDee Lamb is soaking up coverage on the other side of the field. It's a lot harder to do that when it's Noah Brown is the number 2 guy, and they're like, self-check.
I don't think Noah's bad. I don't know, man. I think the Cowboys are going to win.
All right. Well, there you have it, man. All of our predictions for the first round of the NFL playoffs. Terry, before we get out of here, though, I did want to give a quick shout-out because this is a cause that was near and dear to both of our hearts, with me writing about all the corruption behind the World Cup, with you protesting and refusing to watch the non-USA games and anything besides the World Cup final.
Which is
Marshall Mathers has decided to join the cause, Terry. He got offered $8 million to perform at the World Cup, and he told him to go stick it.
Oh, the one in Qatar?
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to Eminem for telling Qatar to go fuck themselves, and I'm not performing at your shitty World Cup.
That's dope. That's dope of your boy. That's real dope of your boy.
He looked Gianni Infantino right in the face, and he was like, I don't love the way you lie, actually. And then he was like, Gianni, you went to Cranbrook. That's a private school.
Let me look up this crazy ass stat before we get the fuck up out of here.
On an unrelated, I saw a clip of 8 Mile in Spanish as is being played in Mexico, and the rap battle portion is completely different, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious. Where he's like, "Eres un ratón como Pikachu."
That's hilarious. Oh, also one random ass stat. All 3 of the Florida NFL teams made the fucking playoffs. That's the first time they did that since 1999, bro. Like, the Jaguars have been horrible for a really long time. The Bucks have been bad for stints too, and then the Dolphins have been bad our whole life. I
can't imagine how they're going to celebrate down in Florida. You think they're going to have an alligator and COVID party?
I don't know, bro. I have no idea. Hold on. Before we go, let me look up the soulless people of the world. I'm going to look up the World Cup TV ratings for the final.
Oh, I thought you were doing like a census type of thing, seeing how many gingers there are in the world.
You think there's less of y'all than there are like Jewish people?
Yeah, for sure. There's less of us than anything, bro. Like we're the rarest of the rare. We being hunted. I'm about damn near extinct, an endangered species, Terry.
That is facts. That is facts.
And especially, you notice the gingers who are around, 80% of them are like the last nut in the ball that like should have never crept out and made a baby. Like it was like Lil Wayne's tattooed teardrop came out of my nutsack and it made some little redheaded piece of shit who wants to assemble copiers in his spare time. And
Nah.
redheads, we got to have a summit. Like we got to have a meeting because I don't like the direction things are going. And you guys, like, if we don't want redhead kids to be bullied in 50 years, we got to start making a change now and start getting some cool redheaded guys up in the media.
Hey, good luck, bro. I don't know.
Right now, it's like you got two choices. You either fucking, do like TikTok fucking videos that you do for 8-year-olds as a 45-year-old man, or you're a Viking. And those are your only two choices as a redhead. And I'm trying to blaze my own path, Harry. And frankly, I'm upset that LeBron hasn't been asked about this.
Are you gonna do this every week? If they don't ask LeBron something, they didn't ask LeBron about this. Oh, yo, I also heard they're gonna make an 8-Mile TV show, bro.
Oh shit!
50 Cent said that. 50 Cent, they're in the works. They're in the works of making an 8-Mile TV show.
They gonna have the Power people do an 8-Mile TV show? Are you serious, dude? I'm in. I'm in all the way. Is Mekhi Phifer gonna be part of it? Have they announced?
I don't know. He doesn't have dreads anymore. That'd be a crazy extension party to go down. I don't know.
I would like to nominate myself to play Cheddar Bob.
Call him up. Tell him put me in. That's a nice check. We'll take that. But yeah, man, that's it. Nothing else to be said. I looked up the World Cup ratings, but they didn't show me the whole world. It was just an estimation. So who fucking knows?
Yeah, I mean, like they're going to be able to tell anyway when they're fucking 85 people crowd around some hut in Namibia watching the same game, and we count that as one person. Like, okay.
They would just lie about it. You know how they do. You know how they do. But, hey, America, it wasn't crazy over here. I told you. It was, I think, 26 million. No, 25.7. Like.
How many people, what was the numbers for the college football championship last night?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
I bet you more people like watch the college football than the World Cup final. I bet you.
Know. 25 million. That's a lot for that game. I'm not sure, bro. Because it was only Georgia versus TCU. I don't think so, bro. No way. National.
Let me see. You looking it up?
Yeah, I'm about to look it up right now. If you had to take a guess, you think more?
I would think more. I know last year was more. When it was what, Alabama, Georgia?
Oh, probably. That shit had to be crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, 10.2.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. No. That's too quick. Hold on. Ooh, 21.7.
And how much was the World Cup?
25.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It was close, though. That's wild as shit, bro, because it was Georgia versus TCU. Like, what are we doing?
We care almost as much as Georgia winning by 60 against a bunch of guys who will never play professional football as we do of the 4-year culmination of the biggest sport in the world. Shout out to America. I'm going back to Mexico, Terry. I can't do it.
Like, America just watched. Like, I know they all tuned out real quick, but we knew it was going to be a blowout. Like, no one thought that they would make this a close game. And still 21 million people watched it. This was, no doubt, the World Cup, the best final ever. And it was only 5 million more people? What are we doing?
Not only that, my neighbor Chase left the World Cup final watching it with everybody else at the bar in the 60th minute so that he could go watch the Carolina Panthers game. So he could watch them not make the playoffs.
North Carolina Continue to sit the fuck down.
Hey, North Carolina, get it together. Okay? Until then, you can check us out at www.thehLSpod.com. You can drop a like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel. We'll be back here Friday afternoon to talk some NBA with you all. It's coming up near the All-Star break. A lot of things have been happening, a lot of storylines in the NBA. So it's going to be an all basketball Friday for you guys.
Yep. All right, man. That's it. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.